Greetings, my friends. It's Admiral Revan here, and today we have a bit of a dev blog update with a lot of new things going on for World of Warships. And 11.3 has landed, and it's coming up pretty soon, actually, in fact. So 11.3, there's a lot of things going on with it, with the closed testing of the new, well, changes to the super ships and submarines and things like that. So we'll go back into that story and let you know what's going on. So there has been a few strange updates that's been tweaked up for the San Diego and the submarines from the closed testing 11.3. Looks like the British supercruiser Edgar has been changed for the alternative fire mode. Has been increased to 35 seconds. There is some slight changes in the super carriers as well as the American cruiser San Diego, so it's interesting. Submarine updates have been tweaked up a fair bit, and it's been an ongoing thing. I have to admit, in my opinion, when it comes to subs and also anything to do with this kind of update, it is a bit strange just by seeing this sort of updates, happen more frequently than it should. Honestly, it is a pretty interesting, look on everything that's happening. But on a side note, I will talk about something that I've come across most recently. And this is the new Clydebank Dockyard. And, the funny thing is, when I'm thinking Clydebank, I'm thinking Clyde Plays Live. Whoops, sorry, Clyde Plays Live. Didn't mean to have the pun intended right there for you, buddy. But anyways, the Atlantico, the Tier 8 Atlantico is now available for you in 11.3, and it is actually not too bad, all things considered. It actually looks pretty cool. The Dockyard looks actually fantastic by display, and the ship, building for this Dockyard for this event is actually pretty decent. So if you're into building a new Dockyard warship, I will say that you'll probably find it more and more interesting to do it with all the missions and everything. The rewards are actually pretty decent, but there's a lot of big guns on the secondaries as well as the main guns, so a lot of AA defense as well. But it is one of the first Brazilian warships that you get to sit back, relax, and have fun on. It is similar accuracy to the Georgia, and it is actually not bad for a tier 8 warship and for you to play. It doesn't have a big speed boost or anything like that, but it definitely have a lot of stages complete. At least about maybe 22 stages at this stage in this video, so it looks pretty good. But, the cinematics of, constructing the Atlantico is actually pretty decent. You get some good rewards. And honestly, as you can see here, the event rules that it is about 1750 for each phase. So 1750, to give you a rough calculation here, 1750 times 22 is about 38,500 doubloons. That is not exactly cheap, but I have to say that if you really want to go through unlocking like the first 3,900 and the 8,000 doubloon packs here for the starter pack of the actual Atlantico, you're probably better off in doing it. It's actually pretty decent and going forward and doing this, so I would recommend it definitely for you. That will give you a good head enough start, like you get some free XP, commander XP, some nice decent flags, as well as some coal and steel, and you can't go without the coal and steel. But each of the phases has, X amount of, resources and stuff like that, so definitely gonna get some containers along the way too as well. And then on phase 22, as a result, you get the permanent camo and also the warship Atlantico. But it is very, interesting from there on in, so you can complete the phases pretty quickly by its own. I have checked it out at one point and tested out the theory, I have to say that you can complete this if you put your mind to it, but you don't have to. But at least you know the Atlantico is a very nice ship to get going. Now, 11.3 is coming out soon, so this is the Italian Destroyer Part 2 event, and it's actually pretty decent to check out as well. Speaking about that, for the Part 2 event for 11.3, here it is. So, 11.3 Part 2 event is coming out really soon. Now, I will show you the details about this. There's a lot of things that you have to check out on it. There's a lot of news articles, as I said, that talks about the Dockyard and the super ships. As you read through these news articles, folks, just make sure when you skim reading through it, or just reading it bit by bit detail, they have some sort of like rewards like that you can collect. Like for example, this one here, that was under early access for the Italian Destroyers Part 2. Then there's also division stars. Look at that, brawls. Visual effects, I have to say they've improved it enough on underwater and a few other things as well too. Yeah, I mean, like, they got some nice decent new camos and stuff for the ships, and look at that look, and you know the difference between the Petros, like the height of it in terms of what it was before and to what, you know, hang on, this before? Now I'm confused. Okay, so there's a bit of before and after effect there. Same thing with this one here, the dash can. They also talk about, you know, some other changes, improvements, and it's actually going to be interesting and moving forward here. So they've been fixing some errors that cause fast reloading for the main batteries, and also the tooltips and a few other things that's been going on there. The geometry of the warships has been updated as well for all these ships that's listed below, so it's actually interesting. So we'll see how that pans out. What else can I tell you? Well, honestly, that is pretty much it what you're facing for 11.3, but the funny thing about that is that the test ships, it's been work in progress in 11.3, and they're still doing a lot of tweaking for the Brest, the Cherbourg, the Toulon, Maya, Wyoming, and Maya, and the submarines. Now, speaking of which, French cruisers are coming out in the near future, and that brings me to a certain dev blog, which I'll tell you more about that shortly. The 11.4, there's a lot of news in 11.4 that you should be aware. So the British battleship Queen Mary Tier 4 is coming out, and also the Tiger 5, Tiger Tier 5, and also the Rook Tier 7. Tier 9 is the Duncan, and St. Vincent is Tier 10. New warships coming out in the near future, and also the Collingwood is like the revamped look of the Nelson class whale ship. And there's a lot of interesting things that's been going on. There's also a new super warship called Clausewitz, or Clausewitz, or whatever it's called. Very nice warship all around with definitely good firepower, and it looks actually not bad for a cruiser anyway. And yeah, there's a lot of more information about that, so feel free to check out the schematics on that. Now, this is where I've been talking about in regarding to the early access for the French cruisers, and also a new map, which is the Faro, and also Bro is actually very nice. It's got a good landscape and everything. As you can see, that the landscape with the high detail looks actually spectacular. Honestly, I'll just be honest with you that the French cruisers are looking very, very nice. And honestly, it's very, very colorful. It really is. It really looks pretty colorful. And yeah, it just like puts things into place here. So it's just like looks very, very nice. The Cherbourg and also the Brest, Marseille and the Toulon, and they have definite nice camos that you can acquire. And Marseille is actually, there's a ship and a port. Oh, there you go. The port has been updated too for the special French event, which is going to be looking pretty good. So oui, monsieur. Alright, so here we go. I'm looking at the arms race, and that is coming out soon. Yeah, it's interesting because it's got tier 9 to 10 and, well, I say super warships, but yeah, you know what I mean. Tier 11. Just about looking at that, it's actually very interesting. So that event is coming pretty soon, actually. I'm just actually having a quick glance of exactly when that event falls into play for us. But it is actually looking pretty good with all the information that's been provided in front of us at this point in time. It's looking pretty nice. So just by looking at it all, it's not looking too bad. Summary updates, the ability to launch torpedoes and at maximum depth has been disabled. So there you go. That's changed. That's good. But they also updated like in terms of the ping and also depth charging and stuff like that. So that's actually nice to see. Just by looking at the updates, it is pretty soon. So Brawl starts in approximately 2 days from now. So just by looking at it, here we go. So basically, server updates are in progress. Okay, so server updates are happening. Russia has already had theirs, and also North American server is about to come in soon. In terms of Asia and EU, that is not too far away. So we are pretty much coming up very soon, actually. And rank battle season, the next season is coming out shortly as well. Brawls is about to start as well, and there's a lot of interesting information that has been shared. I don't know if it's entirely accurate with that link, but it looks pretty straightforward. Mind you, I mean, like, just by looking at everything that's in here at this stage, it is a very interesting turn of events with the expectations of the minimap changes as well. So they highlight exact position on the map, so it's actually, you know, way well pinpointed and stuff, and it looks actually pretty better, much better now. So we'll just see how it pans out in operations, clan battles, and more, especially ranked. But the Black event is coming back, and that's right, my friends. The American destroyer Black is back. Does this mean you get an opportunity to get it? Well, upon completion, you receive a 12-point skill point commander. And you get a permanent camouflage for the Black. So you need at least 24,000 tokens. And pretty much, if you keep grinding all the way through, with all the bundles and everything, you'll be able to purchase the Black itself. And I have to say, the Black is actually a good rival ship to the Sashimi. So definitely worthwhile doing it. So if you're wondering when it's coming out, from the 10th of June to the 1st of July, that is the plan. So basically 11.4 is where it's all at for this section. So definitely go check it out. The Armory, there's a couple of things going on. At the present place, instead of premium ships like the Leningrad, etc., and there's usually the naval that will offer these, will exchange for community tokens. So it's actually interesting, so you can get you exchange your community tokens for that. And that's the interesting funky camo that the Black has. And yeah, it looks actually pretty cool, I think. But yes, folks, I mean, like, definitely go check it out, these events and stuff. If you have any more questions, definitely hit us up. There's one thing I will talk about, and it is a bit of a heated topic at the moment. Support aircraft carriers. Water Warships is definitely coming out swinging with more aircraft carriers in the game. And yes, I know, I'm not gonna repeat myself, okay, folks. I mean, like, aircraft carriers is a thing in Water Warships. But I'm gonna say it as it is that support aircraft carriers did exist in the Second World War, and they were heavily involved. They were. So you will probably find there's more and more happening in the near future. And honestly, I think just by looking at that, you definitely will, see that as an opportunity. So definitely go check it out. It's definitely worthwhile getting. The stun bombs are actually a little bit more involved, so it's still being tweaked up at this stage. And also the smoke generator and chaff consumables, it's a bit of a different story. So we'll see how that pans out. Alright folks, that is it pretty much for now for this article anyway, for this latest blog edition. Definitely go check it out, my social media links and everything, folks. And definitely, hit that follow button, subscribe to my YouTube channel and everything. If you're not following me on Twitch, that's where I do my streams, my live streams and everything. But yes, definitely go check me out if you wish. I am a community contributor for Water Warships on the Asia server, and also my clan is also on the Southeast Asia server, which is Kazna, so definitely you know where to find us. Alright folks, stay safe, take care, and thanks again for tuning in.